I'm here with the writer and producer of Home Again, which we're looking forward to seeing shortly. Jennifer, tell us about the film.
Well, Home Again is about 3 young people who were born in Jamaica, raised abroad, one in Canada, one in the US, and one in the UK. And in their 20s, they're deported back to Jamaica. And the film actually is a bit political because it's about what is it like to be raised somewhere else and then deported, particularly when you don't have the language, you don't know the people, you know, and so it's really a tough journey. And so we wanted to show what actually happens to people when they're deported.
That sounds absolutely amazing. How much information and research did you get in order to complete this film?
Well, we did a lot actually. I was raised in Toronto. I was actually born in Jamaica, raised in Toronto. And we had done a film for the National Film Board, and they said, you know, we want to do something else with you. And they commissioned us. And so we went to Jamaica and we interviewed over 40 deportees. And it was shocking. It was, we saw some things. We saw people who said to us, you know, they literally landed in Kingston and then they were just left at the airport. And they had to literally survive. And, you know, people talking about being raped. We met a young man from Scarborough who had been shot, burnt, stabbed. And he said to us, there's nothing that you can do to a human being that hasn't been done to me, and I don't fear death. And that really spoke to some of the conditions that existed because there was no services. So we felt that it was really important to make this movie.
That sounds very emotional. How did you find getting that emotion through onto the large screen?
Well, I mean, it really is about the people, and so what we try to do is concentrate on the stories. And with Marva's story and Dunston and Everton's story, we really looked at some of the bigger things that were happening to deportees. So, for example, as a woman, what might happen to you? As a young man who was raised abroad and just had very little experience, what would happen to you? And then even one of our characters, the Dunston character, is more of an American gangster. And what happens when you actually do have a criminal past and you're deported? So we really try to look at and really tap into the emotions of those kinds of experiences.
I'm done. You don't know.
Deported boy!
I'm in trouble. Why you do this for?
There's only one law here in Greenwich Farm.
Fight or be killed.